Alright, another walk and talk video. One of the reasons being is I got into a comment war with some jerk off today, and it really pissed me off, and I figured I needed to say something about it. Otherwise I was going to just stay in my house and be perpetually grouchy about this, and that would be no good. Actually, that'd be really irritating and pretty annoying. So what this moron was lamenting on was a news story about this girl who killed her boyfriend because he was apparently an abusive douche, and our draconian system would like to practically crucify somebody again in the public eye over it. So how did they want to not only malign and manipulate, but completely destroy this woman's dignity in front of tons of people? Well, the same way the courts usually do. They decided to think that an aired phone sex session was somehow admissible evidence, and they played it in front of the whole court. This is disgusting. I mean, what the fuck time are we living in? You know, I mean, when I see things like this, it makes me wonder why the hell, like, prosecutors and stuff aren't just members of the church as well. You know, like, you have to be as draconian as possible. You have to be as just manipulating and demeaning and degrading as possible. I mean, so what if the fucking woman did it? You're still killing somebody's character, and at that point it doesn't make you any better than a murderer. It doesn't make you any better than somebody who's sadistically fucked up, who ended a human life in a brutal, senseless act of violence. It just makes you disgusting and stupid. But more so, what pissed me off just about as much as knowing this actually happened, because apparently the only towers of morality we have are just as fucked up as the rest of us, was that this guy was willing to completely support this sort of system 100%. He didn't even question it one little fucking bit. Not even one little fucking bit. And made sure a pin didn't just fall off my backpack. I have it covered in stupid crap. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah. You know, it was just ridiculous. He's sitting there thinking that the system in place that's willing to do that to people is completely flawless, that it's irresponsible and unaccountable for the things that it does to people, and that no accountability should be given for things like that. I'm like, yeah, fuck you. Okay, for one, people are not killing people, not because of your system. It's because they have a self-interest realization and a self-preservation realization that doing that will get them fucked over by a system. It's not because it exists or that it's there that is the sole deterrent. It's the people that are sole deterrents of these things. I've been deterred from completely fucking someone up because of things they did to somebody I care about. Okay, and so have like hundreds of thousands of other people. You know, to just sit there and bitch me out because I'm not 100% supportive of a system that likes to degrade and humiliate people into guilt, as if this is the fucking sire's court, you know, as if I'm living in like 1601, is bullshit. And I don't know how long that guy's been following me, but does he really need to fucking follow me around the corner? You know, that was a little creepy. But you know, I digress. I mean, these kind of things, they piss me off because we're living in the year 2013. People need to move past this. They need to move into something that's a little more humane, that respects the dignity of human beings. And I thought that was what a judge was supposed to do. You know, you sit there and you protect the dignity and the respect of other people, and then you fuck over people who do not have that same respect of other people's dignity. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Then you become a complete inert hypocrite upon that philosophy. You're supposed to 100% get behind and say, this kicks ass, this is how things are supposed to be. Not because I'm giving you a valid reason for it, but because I think so. And because of, you know, thousands of years of me wearing these black robes and basically presiding to be a god among men has told me so. It's stupid. Anyway, I'm gonna split this file in two and catch up with you behind the store over here, so I don't look so crazy talking into this thing. BRB. Alright, what another beautiful location I've popped up in seemingly by use of a teleporter. Not really, it's just easier to do these behind lots and stuff, and nobody gives you bullshit, and not really in too loud of a place, and I don't have to shout my point so people can hear me. But anyway, I mean, this guy, he was going completely off about these things, and I mean, he was so full of shit. I mean, you can't sit there and then just fucking dump all accountability for people's actions on a system, for God's sake. I mean, if we lived in a world like that, I mean, it would be so stupid. You know, people are fully accountable of their actions, and he was trying to not just insinuate that, but insinuate that they weren't at the same time. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? I mean, how do you take accountability away from people but say that they're nothing but accountable for their problems at the same time? I mean, you're just talking around in circles, you fucking idiotic fucknut. And he wouldn't get the point. He wouldn't even concede that, yes, what this person was being exposed to in front of this a room full of people that for the most part they didn't know was terrible. They couldn't even bother to concede that, you know, this isn't right. No, it's just more idiotic. I'm right and you're wrong because my morals are taller than yours kind of stupidity. And I'm like getting really sick and tired of seeing the world built on shit like this. I mean, for crying out loud. I mean, people even in today's world haven't noticed that this is a gigantic problem. I mean, that this is somehow or another, you know, not causing an ass load of issues for us as a human race. I mean, good God. We've got a guy in LA, like for example right now, running around out there shooting cops because he's all pissed off for being fired. I mean, should we throw all of our hope and dreams into people like that because idiots online say, oh, he's a hero because he's exposing corruption and doing something about it? A little sidetrack, no, he's not. He's actually a crazed lunatic who's killing people. That's all he is. And these fucking idiots that go around and say that he's some kind of social hero because he's, you know, fixing injustices in the world like he's fucking Batman or something is just retarded. There are people out there who actually think this guy's a hero. They're just like the stupid assholes who think that James Holmes was a hero. I mean, when you first initially heard about it, you're like, oh, what a disgusting fucker. Then you go on the internet for like 20 minutes and then you go, oh, this guy's a hero. He's exposing conspiracies. Oh, shut up, you fucking assholes. All the tinfoil you've been wearing on your head must be eating away your brain or something. Must be, you know. But this bullshit went back and forth for like 20 minutes and I just ended up having to resign and say, I guess you're right. And it wasn't because he was, it was just because I couldn't pound my head into a wall hard enough anymore and listen to any more of that shit because I was just about ready to go fucking crazy from it because it was just getting to a level where it was insane. It was absolutely insane. And I had to resign myself from the conversation because I'm like, I can't take this anymore. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You know. It's this argument that, you know, people can't be deterred because they fear what their actions might have as for consequences is stupid because, like I said, I mean, you can't give people accountability and then take it away from them. That's idiotic. That makes people sound like nothing but a mushy shell of a human being with no responsibility for their own actions. You know, it kind of reminds me of these assholes I used to deal with, you know, around my neighborhood and stuff when I was younger. These morons who came into my neighborhood on bikes and shit and thought they had like mile-long dicks and they had egos the size of the universe and stuff. One guy probably had an ego the size of the fucking sun. You know, because they had all these little talents. They could do their tricks with their bikes and they were unaccountable for being a bunch of bullyish assholes because they were popular in school. Well, now look, they're a bunch of fucking stupid, washed-out douchebags. Most of them have done jail time, you know, and they're not cool. They're losers beyond all compare. And then what, you know? I'm supposed to think that those are the heroes because they're rebels. Jesus Christ. You know, and there are some heroic things that a rebellious mentality can do that says you don't want to go along with the status quo. Now, I'm down for that, you know. I'm down for that, but when you're trying to label killers as heroic people, and you're trying to tell me that at the same time they're not accountable for their actions, but we should also be just as draconian as that and disregard their right to dignity. It just makes me want to just kick you in the balls, because it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I mean, you can't fucking see that in no way, shape, or form you are acting any different than these people? That in the same vein, you are just as fucking maniacal as they are? But yeah, it's stupid. Hold on a second. Or beat it. That's one of the reasons being, if you can see back there, it's ridiculous. You know, it's one of the things that I worry about when I do these videos. Those cops and stuff, they show up every now and then. One of the reasons being is because I'm behind a storefront and they don't like that. But anyway, I better get out of here. I don't need any more bullshit today.